everyone, we begin to study the pericardial meridian or hand Jueyin today. First, we have to learn its cycle. Last time, we learned the kidney meridian of Jueyin. Do you still remember that there is a branch on it at the end? The last one separates in the lung, connecting with the heart, dispersing in the chest, and hands over the pericardial meridian or hand Jueyin. So the pericardial meridian or hand Jueyin comes out from the chest. How does it actually follow? Let's learn it together. Do you remember what the last meridian is? The last one is the kidney meridian of Jueyin. How does its last branch follow? It separates in the lung, connecting with the heart, dispersing in the chest, and hands over the pericardial meridian or hand Jueyin. So we first look at the circulation of the pericardial meridian or hand Jueyin. Starts in the chest and enters its pertaining organ, the pericardium. It descends through the diaphragm and passes through the chest, superior abdomen and inferior abdomen, to connect successively to the upper, middle, and lower jaw. The branch runs inside the chest and emerges at the costal regions 3 cm below anterior axillary fold and ascends to the armpit. Following the midline of the upper arm, it runs between the lung meridians and the heart meridian and crosses the centers of the cubital fossa, and then proceeds downward the forearm between the tendons of the muscula parietis longus and the muscula flexor carpi radialis. It enters the palm and passes along the middle finger to its tip. The other branch separates in the palm, running along the ulnar aspect of the ring finger to its tip. This meridian is the simplest of the 12 meridians, but we still explained it separately, dividing it into 3 branches. The first one goes from the chest to the sanjiao, and it follows inside the body, so we call it the branch down the body. It starts in the chest and enters its pertaining organ, the pericardium. The pericardium is located in the chest, so it pertains the pericardium when it comes out of the chest. The position of the sanjiao includes the upper, middle, and the lower jaw, which are separated from each other so that the meridian passes through the diaphragm to connect successively to the upper, middle, and little jaw. The second branch runs from the chest to ulnar aspect of the ring finger. We called it the branch from chest to hand. This one comes out of the chest and hypochondrium and emerges at the costal region 3 cm below anterior axillary fold and ascends to the armpit. But the below anterior axillary fold is not the underarm. In fact, when the Asians said the axilla, they meant the medial part of the axilla, the middle part of the scapula. Our ancients thought that the shoulder and the axilla are oppositely anatomical parts. The shoulder is located in the scapular area, the lateral part of the shoulder circumference. So we learned that up to the shoulder, around the shoulder, and so on in the 3 young meridians, and hand refers to the scapular area. When it comes to the 3 meridian of hand, it's called the axilla. so ascends to the armpit is actually not to the bottom of the axilla. It means go to inside of axilla, going down between the lung meridian and the heart meridian. It crosses the center of the cubital fossa and then proceeds downward the forearm between the tendons, which are tendons of the muscular pirius longus and the muscular flexor carpi radialis. It enters the palm and passes along the middle finger to its tip. This is the second branch. The third one is easy, separating in the palm. It runs along the ulnar aspects of ring finger to its tip, because to hand over the next meridian, the Sanjiao meridian of hand Shaoyang. So we called it hand-over branch. Let's have a look at the video and have an intuitive understanding. We just watched a video of the pericardial meridian. Does everyone have an intuitive impression? This impression should be remembered. Where exactly does it go from? Because this is the key content. In order to facilitate everyone's memory, I have compiled some tips for everyone. Now, let's look at the tips, and I'll give you a picture as we go along. First, let's look at the first sentence. The pericardial meridian pertaining the pericardium in the chest descends through the diaphragm to connect to Sanjiao. This is the first one, the branch down the body. Starts in the chest and enters its pertaining organ, the pericardium. It descends through the diaphragm to connect the Sanjiao, which means to connect successively to the upper, middle, and little jaw. Emerges at the coastal 3 cun below axillary. Ascends to the armpit and follows the midline of the upper arm. Enters the cubital fossa and between the two tendons in the forearm. Enters the palm and the middle finger to its tip. This is the second branch. This one also runs inside the chest and emerges at the coastal region 3 cun below anterior axillary fold and ascends to the armpit. Following the midline of the upper arm, the cubital fossa, and the forearm. It enters the palm and passes along the middle finger to its tip. The third one along is a handover branch. The last sentence, from the palm to the ring finger. This is a branch from the palm, reaching the other end of the ring finger, while hands over the Sanjiao meridian of hand Shaoyang. Here we pay more attention. Now, the upper arm is the none we talked about when we learned the long meridian of hand Taiying. Everyone must remember what now means. And then the two tendons are what we need to know. Tendons of the muscular parens longus and muscular flexor carpi radialis. The ring finger refers to the fourth ring finger. We need to grasp the zangfu organs connected to it when we learned the pericardial meridian. Actually, this is very simple. It only connected the pericardium and the Sanjiao, two exterior and interior organs. We also learned the heart meridians before. The heart and the pericardial meridians have a lot in common. So when we study the pericardial meridian, we have to review the heart meridian and see what are the similarities and the differences, whether there is any differences in the organs they contact, whether there is any difference in the root, what are the similarities and the differences in the syndromes they treat. Finally, let me emphasize, when we understand the pericardium and the Sanjiao, especially the latter, it's a concept in traditional Chinese medicine only. It's not an organ that can be seen in Western medicine. So don't think of it as a very simple organ when you understand it, but think of it including the upper, middle, and the lower jaw. That's all for today. I hope you go back to remember the cycle of this meridian.